All right, family, now look, several rookies are reporting to training camp today. It is time for their dreams to officially come true. Well, it is time for me to give you all a report on which rookies, the non-quarterbacks, y'all know enough about them, which non-quarterbacks will be the most impactful this season. I'm going to give you all the top 5 that you must know urgently. At number 5, I'm starting with a guy I know all too well, Bijan Robinson, running back, highest drafted running back out of the University of Texas, now with the Atlanta Falcons. Now, why is he so important? Because Arthur Smith, the head coach for the Falcons, I believe is going to be on the hot seat this season. Going into year 3, he desperately needs to show that he can bring this offense, bring this team together, and Bijan Robinson is going to be the main focal point in helping them do that. The rookie at number 4, you got to keep your eyes on. Jalen Carter of the Philadelphia Eagles. Now remember, Jalen Carter could have been the number 1 pick taken in the draft, but there were some issues that concerned several scouts. Jalen Carter is supposed to replace Javon Hargrave. 10 sacks for the Eagles at defensive tackle last year. Jalen Carter plus first-round pick last year, defensive tackle Jordan Davis, you would hope will help Nick Sirianni get back to the Super Bowl. At number 3, this is going to be an unfamiliar name that you need to familiarize yourself with. Joe Tippmann. He is an offensive lineman. Really, he's a center for the New York Jets. Rodgers, center. Who's going to touch the ball the most for the Jets outside of Aaron Rodgers? It's going to be Joe Tippmann out of Wisconsin. If you are going to step in and start as a rookie, you are going to be the brains that helps Aaron Rodgers try to coordinate protection, run gaps, etc. Joe Tippmann, all eyes are on you to help the Jets advance. At number 2, Quentin Johnston. Why do I bring him up? First-round pick out of TCU, an absolute dog. One of the biggest freaks when you talk about testing. 6'4", 225, 4'4". He's with Justin Herbert in the Los Angeles Chargers. Herbert cannot have enough weapons. As talented as Herbert's arm is, that will be accentuated by Quentin Johnston, the beast out of TCU, first-round pick. And at number 1, I'm keeping it in the wide receiver position. Zay Flowers, there is no rookie that will have more on his plate than you. Because Lamar Jackson just got paid an absorbent amount of money. But you, Zay Flowers, need to make sure that Odell Beckham, who's coming off an injury, doesn't have to do everything. You, Zay Flowers, need to make sure that Rashad Bateman, first-round pick at wide receiver to the Ravens just a couple years back, doesn't have to do everything. You, Zay Flowers, need to show up, put the team on your back as much as you possibly can. These are my 5. My 5 rookies that should be the most impactful this coming season. Heading to the desk, Shady.
Did you say what school he went to, though?
Boston College.
Did you say what school he went to?
Zay Flowers.
Yeah. We are. BC. Let's go.
All right, well then, Will, since you are talking, who is supposed to be the most impactful non-rookie this year?
I say you, Zay. By the way, real quick with Zay, he's more than happy to handle whatever's on his plate. He did everything at BC anyway. He returned kicks, returned punts, ran the ball, received the ball, threw the ball. Zay's good, man. Let's
this recruiting advertisement brought to you by.
but this is tough. As a BC guy, this is really hard to say. But I think my most non-impactful rookie is from the University of Notre Dame, which is hard to say. Is Michael Mayer, tight end Michael Mayer for the Raiders, simply because they lose Darren Waller.
Yep.
He comes in. He is homegrown, Kentucky strong. Great blocking tight end, great receiving tight end. He's going to come there and fill that void. Fits exactly what Josh McDaniels needs for that Patriot-style offense. So I believe he's going to be super, super impactful for that team.
That's a sneaky one. Shady, where you at?
I'm going with Zay Flowers.
Yeah.
I love his game, right? I love what I see at BC. And then we add him to the Ravens, who Coach Monken.
Yep, Todd Monken.
What he wants to do as far as throwing the ball. Now you bring a new coordinator to the Ravens. They have weapons. Mark Andrews is probably the insurance for Lamar Jackson. One of the top tight ends in the game, right? And then Odell Beckham's going to be the number 1 receiver. I think having the number 1 receiver is big because when the defense that Zay Flowers will see, he won't see the number 1 corner. He won't see him. He won't see the number 2 corner. When you're a speed guy as a rookie and they simplify the offense for you, the playbook, and all you have to do is do a couple jet sweeps. He can do that very good. A couple screens, he can do that good. And then when they ask him to go deep, that's what he does best. You put him in there with Mark Andrews and Odell Beckham. Then you put a young rookie who nobody knows about in a slot in the middle or outside and going deep. You have a big year.
Let me ask you all quickly before I get to you, Slick, is The Ravens drafted Hollywood Brown 2019, 5'10", I think roughly 180, 185 pounds out of Oklahoma, absolute beast. Well, they traded him 2 years later to the Arizona Cardinals. He was not what they wanted him to be, and he wanted to go get his bread. Then the Ravens, I believe in 2021 or 2021, drafted Rashad Bateman, another speedster, speed wide receiver. I believe he's closer to 6 foot, 200, 205, and he's been injured and he's been maligned. He hasn't necessarily done what they wanted him to do. Thus, they drafted another speedster in 2023 in Zay Flowers. Why should I believe that Zay Flowers will work when Hollywood and Bateman didn't?
Because they're different, but not only that, none of them played with a #1 receiver. It's different when they draft me to be the guy compared to they already have a guy in the room that every team was going to look at, okay, they got Odell Beckham on the board. Now, as a young rookie, now I can slowly develop myself, develop my games, make my mistakes, and still learn. Now, Zay Flowers, I talked to him about a month ago. It was like an autograph signing. I was asking about the offense, et cetera. And he said, the reason why I love playing with Lamar and being in Todd Monken's office because I could slowly develop who I am because we have a #1 receiver. We have a guy that's getting all the attention, who we're designing the plays for. And now, as a rookie, I can come in there and do my job unnoticed.
Yeah.
Well,
that's seeing him going for 60-yard touchdowns.
Well, that's the advantage, too. In fairness to the other guys you mentioned, is that they're not in this offense.
Right.
You know, they complain about not being featured in the old-style offense where it was featured more for running and for Lamar to run the football. They weren't doing sophisticated passes.
Good point. Look, where you at?
I went with a tight end, too. Dalton Kincaid with the Bills.
Oh, right with the Bills,
and largely because I was looking at, so who's a meaningful team and who has a need, an obvious need, and who has the coach or the quarterback that's able to utilize that person in that need. So Buffalo Bills, meaningful team, check. Josh Allen, the quarterback, and he needs receivers. He needs targets. And Dalton Kincaid isn't just your typical tight end. They think they can split him out wide.
No doubt.
And so that need to fill that, they still got Dawson Knox, who's more of a traditional tight end. So I think you're going to see him pass catching, and it's going to be important that he does.
I cannot wait to watch. These are all some young studs.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.